You know, these are not hardened criminals who are being kidnapped and abducted by armed, masked, unidentified agents of the state. These aren't arrests for people with warrants. These aren't arrests for people with criminal convictions. Like, these are people going to their immigration court hearing trying to follow the law, who are being trapped by this government.
One of my favorite things to watch on YouTube these days are the court hearings where illegals are in court and ICE shows up to drag them out of court and deport them.
The most vulnerable people are being trapped, vilified, brutalized, kidnapped, disappeared. That's the reality of what's happening here.
I went to the immigration courthouse and saw someone be taken right in front of me as soon as I got here on Tuesday last week. And when I came here, I saw a group of like 3 or 4 men in masks, just quietly surrounding a man who, you know, I didn't really know what they were doing. And it was a really weird encounter for me. And I asked them who they were. One of them finally told me, but they took him into an unmarked civilian car, no license plates, and they just took him away. That was the day that I saw a woman have a panic attack. That was the day that I saw a woman and her little boy, who I had like waved at earlier, just be pulled aside. And I just see the mom start crying. And there's been a lot of really consistent observers or clergy members from CLU who've been doing a lot, and they've been here to show support to the people here. You know, the woman was crying, they were praying for her, and they were trying to get her contact info. And I just remember seeing that little boy that was, you know, he looked so like cute and happy when I saw him like an hour before, just dissociating and just, you know, rubbing on his like coloring book. And they took them, you know, through the back of the stairs, and that was the last I saw of them.
I went to the federal immigration court in Santa Ana, California to see it for myself and to speak with Reverend Dr. Jason Cook and other members of the group CLU, Clergy and Laity United for Economic Justice. Along with the Orange County Rapid Response Network, CLU members have been showing up regularly to immigration courts to document and bear witness to the crimes that the government is committing in order to entrap and disappear immigrants who are showing up to their own court hearings.
For myself and for other people in faith communities, as we started to get the word that ICE agents were appearing here in the courthouse and whisking people off without due process, without identifying themselves, we wanted to be witnesses. We wanted to see what was happening, and we wanted to be here for folks who didn't have anybody else here on site for them. So we have clergy, we have lay people, we have people from a variety of Christian communities, we have people from Jewish communities, we have people like me from a Unitarian Universalist community, Muslim folks, we have people representing a wide variety of faiths and no faith who are simply here to try to witness what is happening behind closed doors. It's been dangerous sometimes, it's been tense, we have witnessed a lot of pain, families ripped apart, people without warning being essentially abducted and pushed into the white vans that they have behind this building and whisked off to we don't even know where.
This courtroom is a branch of DHS, so they are obligated to work with ICE if their higher-ups tell them to, but the court staff don't like it because they want to do their jobs. They want to get people moving in their process and not have them scared to come to court. So in the time that I've worked here, because the word has gotten out about ICE being here, many people are not showing up for their hearings, and that puts them at risk of being marked for deportation. Of course, if they show up, for all they know, they'll be arrested and deported.
So they're really damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, so they come and ask me, what should I do? And I'm like, there is no good answer.
What we're seeing in the courtrooms are folks are going in, they are somewhere in the process. They might have temporary protected status. They might be somewhere else along the way. They have shown up here in good faith with the belief that the system will work for them, as they should. And the judges here have been pressured to dismiss as many cases as they can. And when those cases are dismissed, as these folks walk out of the courtroom, ICE agents are waiting to pounce. So no judge has said to them, you're going to be detained. No one has told them that that's going to happen. What's simply happening is their case, for some technicality, for one reason or another, is being dismissed while they're here in good faith, doing what they're supposed to do, and they walk out of the courtroom and they are abducted. They are taken. No warning, nothing. And it's horrific.
You know, people around the country are being told that these are hardened criminals. These are the worst of the worst. Is that what you're seeing in the courtroom?
No, since I've been here, I find myself seeing a lot of women and like small children being like picked out. There was a woman with a 11-month-old baby from Nicaragua, and she was by herself, and I just asked her, you know, what she was waiting for a case, and she didn't have any family here. She didn't have any support system, and she had no idea what was going on. And that just broke my heart, because when she told me that her asylum case she had been here for less than 2 years, I was like, they could take her. And that's just heartbreaking. There's so many things like this happening.
And just for the record, I want to be clear that I've watched dozens of cases. I've sat in the courtroom, and I have not heard of one crime committed. I've heard of people entering without their papers in order. That's a misdemeanor. And it's a civil thing. And because of that, it doesn't make them eligible to have a court-appointed attorney.
It's just unimaginable to see it and witness it, to see an elderly couple being split apart and one of them hauled off down a back stairway, to see a child ripped out of their mother's arms and the mother being taken away. It's just something that you think would never happen here in the United States, and it's happening right now behind the doors of that nondescript building.
It's not just the Latino community in Orange County, it's the Vietnamese, Cambodian, Iranian, everyone is being affected.
When they take people on the street, they are profiling 100%. When they take people from this courtroom, they have taken, that I know of, Koreans. They have taken people from Russia. They've taken a variety.
And I can tell you that the folks that I'm watching being snatched are not criminals or anybody dangerous that we need to be worrying about. Again, these are folks who showed up in good faith, trying to do what they thought was the right thing. And that's why they're here. Criminals don't do that.
But also, I have to imagine there's a force of moral shame that these ICE agents have to feel when they just see you. Do they recoil when they see you and other clergy there? Do they feel shame for what they're doing, or does it appear like they're feeling shame?
That's a great question. And of course, we never fully know what's in another human being's heart, right? What I hope is for every one of those ICE agents that sees people who are willing to be present at this time, that there's just a little part of their brain and their heart that just, even if it's just kind of, just a little worrisome, little itch there, you know, that says, maybe this isn't right what I'm doing. You know, maybe I should be doing something else. Maybe the story that I'm telling myself about all this is not really the whole story. I can't know that happens, but we feel like it's more likely to happen with our presence there than not. Because otherwise, there's no one there that is offering that sense of witness. And we all know that when things are hidden and they're out of sight, that's often when the worst and most egregious things happen.
With the Trump administration continuing to escalate its all-out assault on immigrants and on the rule of law, the sobering reality is that these immigration court abductions and deportations are not going to stop anytime soon. But Reverend Dr. Cook and other CLUE members say that they're going to keep showing up to bear witness and to provide whatever support they can, and they urge others to do the same.
We're organized to the point that we have all of our people who come here as witnesses get training. We have a schedule, we have shifts, we have 2 people at a time who, so that nobody's here alone. You know, this is a lot to cover. We don't know how long this will go on. We're going to do this as long as it needs to be done. And we realize we're potentially in for the long haul here.
These people are human beings. They deserve to know that there's danger in the room that they're walking into. They deserve someone to witness their imprisonment. They deserve to not disappear. That in all through the Hebrew and Christian Bible, it says to care for the stranger, to honor the stranger, to welcome the stranger. And I'm just doing what Jesus said.
You know, you have to find a reason each day to wake up and keep going, you know? And I think we each potentially play our part. And, you know, you're doing what you can at this moment, right? And I think we're all trying to find that place. And what I would encourage folks who are hearing this at the moment is anybody, whoever you are, there's something you could do right now. Again, what we're doing doesn't require a degree. It doesn't require a huge amount of special training. It just requires the ability to witness and be present in a particular way. There are so many things like that that people can do right now. The worst thing we can do is turn away and ignore what's happening. That we can't do.